Hello and welcome to Whiskey Wednesday, which is where I get to combine two of my favorite things, which is real estate and whiskey. That's kind of my authentic way of providing an update to what is going on in the real estate market and local economy. As well as I plan to bring in some of my fellow team members here to give insights that they see, introduce you to some of my key vendors that are experts in their fields, just all to provide value as we kind of move forward and keep you guys informed. So today, as we're now in week 2 of 2022, I thought it'd be good to kind of highlight where we ended last year, as well as what we see for this year. So if many of you know, last year was a big year for real estate. Those of you who participated in it knew it was a great time to be selling a property, and frankly, kind of a stressful time if you were trying to buy a property. We had record low supply with record high demand. It made for a very competitive marketplace for buyers. And you had times where you saw months that had over 30% appreciation in one month. We actually set a new record for the Valley for the total number of homes sold. Of course, prices were way up as well. Even last month in December, which is normally a slow month due to the holidays, we had over 26% appreciation. To put that in comparison, a normal seller's market, you would expect about 4 to 10% appreciation. So definitely a great time if you did own a property to see those values come up, and essentially you almost have a savings account in your house with that. And it's also kind of interesting too, because that's not what a lot of experts predicted we would have this year. You got companies like Zillow and CoreLogic all coming out at the beginning of the year saying we were going to have downturns and slowdowns and price decreases for the year. Obviously, that's something that did not happen. And I find kind of interesting when you take into account all that went down with Zillow last year, which could be a whole nother video right there. But on top of prices too, we also saw another year of rents just climbing to new heights with that, which is great, again, if you're a landlord. And pretty discouraging, and I would say a bit of a hardship if you were renting. I know back in 2019 when we ended the year, the median rent was just under $1,600 a month, and ending last year, we were close to $2,200 a month. So that's a pretty dang big, significant increase in your monthly expenses in just 2 years alone with that. So that's what we had for rents as it going on. So what does 2022 look like as we go forward with that? Well, for buyers, unfortunately not as great news, but good news for sellers is we were actually starting off the year with lower supply than we started last year with. So unfortunately, any kind of gains in supply we had last year, we seem to have kind of reset back down to zero. With January starting off with the least amount of supply than we've ever had since we started counting this in 2001. To put it in perspective, we only had just over 5,000 properties available at the beginning of the year, and that's for the whole Valley, all price points, all of it with it. If you say we're looking for a house in Gilbert under 500,000, you had less than 30 to choose from. So definitely low supply, and will make it for a competitive marketplace as we go forward, and good for sellers as we move forward with that. But on a positive note too, Arizona has regained more than 100% of the jobs lost from the pandemic. So where the rest of the country as a whole still has some room to grow there, Arizona can say that we've fully recovered and then some, which is great news. We've also seen forbearance and pre-foreclosure to continue to drop. In fact, in November, I think we had only 127 pre-foreclosure notices filed, which that's kind of the first step to foreclosure. Not everyone actually goes to be foreclosed on at that point, but kind of earlier indicators with that. And comparison-wise, in 2009, we had months that had over 10,000 notices filed in 1 month. So if 127 seems like a small number, it's because it is, and should kind of give people peace of mind a little bit about this year moving forward, and stability as the real estate market goes. Take that into account with a strong job growth and the fact that we're still one of the top states for inbound migration. All of that bodes very well for this year. I would expect to see things continue as a seller's market, continue to see prices rise for the better part of this year, if not longer. Frankly, we just have way too few properties available for the number of people that need them. And as long as that kind of ratio stays that way, I don't see things changing drastically as we progress. We are seeing interest rates rise. That will affect demand a little bit, but we still have very, very low supply. So that is what I got for you for today. Hopefully you found it valuable and beneficial. If you guys have any questions or want to continue this conversation, I love talking about this stuff and I would love to talk to you about it. As well as if you know anyone that we could help with their real estate needs, help answer questions, please connect us so I can hopefully provide value to them as well. Thanks again for watching.